and while my parents worked. So I was, every day after school, I'd go with my brother, and I'd sit and watch them marching around and working on the show, and I kind of became interested in, well, it's like fun, what they're doing out here. They all seem to be laughing and having a good time, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was enamored with the drums, kind of, when you're young, like, wow, log beater is cool. They're banging on stuff, and I didn't know what I wanted to be, though. I saw the bugles out there, and I thought maybe I could be a flag girl, possibly, or a rifle twirl or something. That wasn't going to work out. So my brother said, okay, well, you're going to play the French horn. I said, okay, well, what's the French horn? So next week, we go to the community center where they used to rehearse. They had a cadet corps, like a B corps beginning group, every instrument there. And so I was in that group, and they gave me a French horn, and it was a bell forward, not a mellophone, but actually a French horn type thing. And it had a valve right here, and it had a rotary valve here. You guys see these things, old school, really great design to technique. But it was in key of G. So a really horrible sounding instrument, you can imagine. And so my assignment was, they said, well, here's how you play these things. You take your lips and you go, and you take your mouthpiece and you go, and then you get the horn up there and you go, and you all make that sound virtuosic, so that's how we learn how to do this thing. So my parents were like actually thrilled that I'd taken interest in something. Because I was just, I was even as a little kid, I was uncoordinated, I wasn't very good at sports and any of that stuff. So, oh great, our son's interested in music here. They thought that was just great until I brought this instrument home and started going, all day long, being attacked. Then I was running the shop for 3 days of that, and my dad was always saying, "Does this kid ever learn a song?" Make these noises. So they run the street to the garage so my neighbors could enjoy my musical prowess. And they used to call the police. I was fine, like they'd be complaining with window slamming and stuff, the police. So we had to soundproof my garage, which we eventually did, so I practiced back there. So anyway, I got to kind of make a sound on the thing, and we rehearsed every week. And around that, we were learning different notes and learning what a quarter note is and learning how to read music a little bit. And going up the scale. And the first tune, after about a month of playing, we had to learn was this tune. My dad's going, he finally learns a song, he learns that song. It's like a funeral on my block every day. But it probably didn't sound that good. It probably sounded like somebody was dying when I played this thing. So, and that was our challenge piece. Who could play taps the best, who could play first French horn. I could never get that. Never hit that note, so it's kind of a problem for me. So I never got to be first chair in that group. Anyway, to make a long story even longer, since I'd shown some interest in music, I was going to Catholic school at the time, there was no band program there. I was in 6th grade, no band program, so my parents said, well, we'll put him in public school and he'll be in beginning band in the summer school. So Hostler Junior High, where I went to summer school and where I went to junior high as well. They put me in the band, and the band director said, well, what instruments do you play? I said, well, I play the French horn. He goes, I got it right here. He goes, what the hell is that? That's not a French horn. He goes, this is French horn. I go, what the hell is that? So he goes on and he explained, he goes, oh, he played it, he's a trumpet player. He goes, oh, this isn't G, it's a bugle type thing, He goes, oh, this is horn and F, and this is actually an orchestral French horn, band instrument, and not a marching band instrument, but an orchestral instrument. And there's all these, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't even know what to do with this thing yet. So in beginning band, playing whatever you play in beginning band, Brubank, method, or Belgian band, or what, I can't remember what we were working out of. But I remember one of the cool things about playing French horn in beginning band was 7 a.m. part wasn't so cool, but it was me and like 8 girl French horn players. I was like, cool, this might be just for future stuff. So we're playing, and I didn't have any natural ability on this instrument by any means, but I was enjoying playing it. We were learning whatever songs we were learning what the notes meant, and what fingers, what buttons to push. And came into school one day, about maybe 6 weeks into the program, 7 weeks into the program, and the police were at the school, so the sirens were going. There was like 4 or 5 cop cars out there, and the windows were all bashed out of our band room. And what had happened was these thugs had come in and vandalized the band room. So they came in and they just graffitied up all the walls, It's like early days of bands. They weren't killing people, then they just like to break stuff. So they had taken all these instruments and they cut the timpani heads and the piano was flipped over and it looked like they had sledgehammered it, you know, just completely destroyed the band. And my French horn was really just like somebody had done this. And mine even had a couple extras, like maybe they heard me play. I'm going to stop this. Maybe my neighbors or something. You know? So my French horn was just flattened, completely flattened. And I ended up, I kind of wanted to switch to trumpet anyway. This is how I got switched to trumpet. But see, all these girls here, they all took their French horns home to practice. a couple of them didn't. You know, I didn't take the horn home to practice, so we got destroyed. So theirs were all okay. Well, insurance, and all the bunch of trumpets, and none of the trumpet players took their horns home, so all the trumpets got smashed up. So because of insurance purposes, you know, a student line trumpet was a lot more affordable to buy than a French horn. So they bought like 20 of these old Ambassador trumpets that was, you know, student model back in the day, you know, and they bought like 2 new French horns, you know, and so I didn't get one of those. So I got switched to trumpet. Now, just to tell you a little story about that before what happened after that. When I was doing the corps thing, the A corps, the group that my brother would teach, there was this guy, I remember his name was Tom Humble. And he was the first soprano guy. He was like the high note guy. You know, he's like this rebel. He was 16, I was 12, and he just seemed really old to me. You know, one of those old 16-year-old mustache. Like, wow, that's like facial hair and everything. And he had long hair, and he couldn't have long hair in the corps. He had to keep our hair short, but he had it all tucked up in a hat. He was like this rebel guy. And all the girls liked him, and all the guys thought he was cool. He was that guy. Everybody wants to be that person, right? You know. So, and I looked out, I thought, man, what a cool guy. And he sounded really good. He was so nice even to me, you know, the young songs. He was nice. And you know, that's what I wanted to be. So I said, why don't we play the soprano? Or the trumpet. It was a soprano on the corps. So I got my trumpet now from my dad. Now I try to play the trumpet, and I think, well, it's just the same thing, except the bell is going this way instead of this way. You know, I don't think there's any difference. I've always thought, are there any trumpet players in here? I've always thought, you know, you guys would have a lot more humility if your bell's faced forward. I've always thought that. So one of the problems I had when I went to play the trumpet, because the French horn mouthpiece being so different, is I go to pick up the trumpet and I try to play this, like the second line G, and I go hit that note and I get these weird sounds like a, like somebody jumping at a dog's tail, you know. And I try to get second line G, you know. I would get that sound, you know. And I didn't know that was good. I didn't know I was going to be making a living doing this later. I was thinking, I like this suck, you know. So I'm kind of practicing. I'm trying to get a handle on how to play this thing. So I'm in my garage practicing my trumpet now. You can imagine my neighbors really loving this now. So I wanted to learn some songs. I couldn't really read music yet. So the A corps used to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow in their marching show from Wizard of Oz. And so I could hear that song, so I'm going to learn this song. So here's how I'll learn it. So I just found a starting note, whatever note, you know, and I can hear that didn't sound right, you know, so I just go through all the combinations of the buttons until I got the right note, you know. Somewhere, so I got a piece of white paper, and I made an open, and I put an arrow pointing up, and open. And I find the next note. I finally find open a real small arrow and choose. And a little longer arrow. So I write the whole song out and wrote like 3 tunes out. Okay, so I sound well for 3, 2, 3, 1. You know, it looked like a graph, you know, it's a stock graph. And my mother, I remember her seeing this, you know, on my music stand in the garage. She's going, "Arthur, our son is on drugs. Look at this." It's the devil's work, you know. So I go, no, it's not a rainbow. You don't recognize it? That's the buttons I push to play the song. They hear me practicing the song.